And it's now time for Group 2. As you can see, Nicholas Latifi and Fernando Alonso here. Welcome, guys. Fernando, can we kick off with you? King of the overtakes this year. You've just hit the top of the charts. 114 overtakes this year. What's the secret?
Well, I would love to start a little bit further up and make no overtakings and be in the top 3 constantly. But yeah, it seems that on Sundays we are a little bit more competitive than Saturdays. That was the general rule this year. You know, we struggle a little bit more over a single lap compared to the race pace, and maybe that's also a consequence of this number. And I need to get a little bit more info. What could be the price at the end? So we push a little bit more in the last 3 races.
I'm sure it's a very generous prize, but just how much have you enjoyed the racing this year?
It has been no different to any other year. Obviously, when you are in the midfield, there is a little bit more action compared to the front. Not always on television. There are a couple of races that they are quite fun, and you are a little bit lonely there in some others, but I think it has been always the same. And as long as there is an opportunity and the circuit provides some good spots for overtaking, it's normally good fun.
Can we throw it back to Brazil now? Great team result for Alpine there. First up, how good was the car around Interlagos?
Car was good, car was fast. As I said, on race pace especially, we saw that in FP2 and then we confirmed it on the races. The sprint race was a little bit of not a lucky one for us. We started so and then we got stuck on traffic for most of the race, but then on Sunday we could play a little bit a different strategy and gain some positions. I was happy for the team to score good points, but we still need to raise the level if we want to finish in front of AlphaTauri. So this weekend we have the first opportunity to do something extra.
You say the pace was good at Interlagos, but it's interesting, it has dropped off in the last few races. When you think back to Holland, Italy and Russia, you scored 20 points around those races. It's been a lot sparser since then. What have been the issues with the car? It is true that from Austin we seem to struggle a little bit more in the race pace and especially in qualifying, but we have no answer yet to those drops on performance. But I think Mexico and Austin were the bad ones. Brazil was more a normal weekend, so I expect these next 3 races to be hopefully okay and repeat those 20 points in the next 3. Now, it's a fascinating battle between yourselves and AlphaTauri. How important is it for you and your teammate Esteban Ocon to work together in order to beat them?
Well, I think that's our main strength compared to them. You know, we could say and we have to be honest with ourselves and probably accept that we are not as fast as them in pure pace over a single lap. They are even faster than Ferrari and McLaren, to be honest. They are out-qualifying the Ferraris and the McLarens for the last 3 or 4 events. So they are fast, nothing to say. But our strength is to execute well Sunday's races and good strategies, no mistakes, good first laps, and scoring with both cars. And that's our strength, and we will try to use it until the end.
Thank you. Final one from me. This track here in Qatar, what are your first impressions?
I will do the track walk later, so I cannot comment it too much at the moment, but I like to be here. I think I was obviously following this track, and in MotoGP is the first race of the year, so I always watch it and play on the video games here with the MotoGP. So I will always wonder how a Formula One could perform here. So I will have the answer this weekend. It looks fast. It looks nice to drive. So I think it's going to be a very good weekend, and happy to be here for the first time and hopefully for many years.
Thank you. Nicholas, coming to you. Let's start by talking about Qatar. What are your first impressions of the track?
Yes, I've done my track walk this morning, and I've also done some simulator preparation on it. And yeah, it seems like a very fast track, nice and flowing, which is obviously always nice with these modern Formula One cars. It's kind of really where they excel, and it's really where you get to kind of push them to the limits as a driver. So looking forward to that. It's very, very flat, and I anticipate track limits will be a bit of a thing here, just because there's a lot of runoff areas and such high-speed corners. So I mean, I haven't seen the event notes yet, so I'm not really sure which corners. If it's going to be white line, curb, it's always a bit of a talking point. But I think especially for our package comparing to the past two races, I expect to be hopefully much more competitive here. So yeah, looking forward to see how we get on.
Hopefully much more competitive, but are you worried about the wind here in the desert?
Yeah, it's not the most sheltered track. It's quite exposed, and I think depending on the direction, the intensity, it will definitely play a factor for us. So again, we have to see once we start driving.
Now let's throw it back to Brazil as well. You out-qualified George Russell there. How pleasing was it to finally do that, and how much confidence does it give you?
I mean, to be honest, I didn't really take a ton of satisfaction from it. I guess more so just because of the overall performance of us as a team. We were definitely have not been as competitive as we wanted to be in the past two rounds, and off pure potential, at least one car, has had the opportunity to get into Q2 on quite a few races this year, and that was not the case, obviously, in Brazil. It was a very scrappy lap from my side, but I think even cleaning everything up, we were still 3/10 or so, which at a track that Brazil is quite a lot. So, yeah, I was kind of more just disappointed from the overall pace. To finally get ahead of George, it is what it is. I know on a few occasions earlier in the year, had things gone different for me that were out of my control, I would have already been ahead of him a few times. So again, I know the performance has been there from my side. It's just hasn't actually been on the timing sheets for the races. So yeah, it's not something I'm too excited about.
Thanks, Nicholas. Now, we're going to go to our fan question next. And apologies to you, Nicholas. It is addressed to Fernando, but we will discuss the topic with you as well. Okay, here's Hugo.
Hi, my name is Hugo. I have a question for Mr. Alonso. Why did you come back to Formula One after all the bad luck you have had with the teams? Thank you. Good luck.
Well, I came back because I love racing. I love competing, and I think Formula One was the best, challenge that I have on the table. And come back in Formula One and try to win again was a huge challenge, and I was attracted by that. And I will not agree probably with the bad luck that I had with teams. I'm super happy and privileged to accomplish, a few things that I did in Formula One, and that was only thanks to luck as well, to good luck. So, I'm not feeling unlucky.
Thank you. And Nicholas, on this whole topic, do you believe in luck as a racing driver?
I think it'd be silly to say luck does not play a part in a lot of things, especially in motorsport in general. So, there's also, you kind of make your own luck, and you also have to be in, the right position to capitalize on that luck if it comes to you. But, I guess nothing more than that.